I put my heart in this box. They be like, y'all need to stop it. We try to coin and they rock. These promoters is stuff and they partners. It's gonna be hard trying to stop it. Speaking for the fans when I say they offending me. But really, y'all part of the problem. Blinded by how you don't see the real enemy. You motherfuckers be tempting me. Don't like your energy. You think you pimping me. If I vote for 500 centuries, no penitentiary. I'm smoking plenty weed. I don't need no sympathy. Earl Spin versus Crawford. Gon' be all the time. Regardless of who win or lose, they still gon' be in the Hall of Fame. So I ain't even in my feelings. Regardless of the rain, I'm chillin'. Numb to the pain, no feeling. Can't do the same, dope feeling. But good, but I ain't no feeling. Lost my top, so it ain't no feeling. Round with the tank, but I'm not feeling. Cause we already know this tank gon' kill him. I wanna see tank versus Devin Haney. Even Frank Warren. With a bicycle. Boxing is not a sport that we can afford. So we know that rich people ride the board, this I cannot ignore. I've never been shot before. The pain is burning inside. My people died. It's just like a hunter who shot a bull. Damn. I put my heart in this box. They be like, y'all need to stop it. We fuck our coordinate robbers. These promoters is sauce and they partners. It's gonna be hard trying to stop us. Speaking for the fans when I say they offending me. But really, y'all part of the problem. Blinded by how you don't see the real enemy.
What it do, what it do? It's 903 Boxing. I'm your host, Charles J. Say, man, the fuck a private number calling me for? I will not answer. Anyway, them that fucked up my rhythm. Anyway, back to this sauce. Matter of fact, shout out to my audience. Shout out to those that's rocking with me. Yeah, we back in the kitchen. There's a whole lot of goddamn sauce in this pot, man. Let's get to the shit. These are my confessions. Yeah, when I thought I said all I can say, my chick on the side, and she got one on the way. These are my confessions. Man, I'm thrown and I don't know what to do. Listen, I want to open up with a confession. Listen, I'm a human being and I talk a lot of shit, but sometimes I lie. Sometimes I get caught up in my own lies. I lie for black fighters all the time, especially when they going against a non-black fighter. I lie a lot, but I just want to say this. I want to admit something I said that in my prediction, I said Devin Haney would. I could see a knockdown. I could see him dropping Rigas. I said Devin Haney would stand his ground, but in my prediction, I said Devin gonna get clipped. I was truthful to that point. In my mind, bro, there's no way you get out of a fight with Rigas and don't get dropped, don't get wobbled. And in my mind, do what's that? Merry Christmas. What song just be coming to me? To all of you. Yeah, back in my mind, I was just in the back of my mind, I said, Devin can get stopped, bro. It's gonna be a moment. And I felt like in the back of my mind, I said, even if Devin win, him getting clipped could be the story of the fight. Because it could be badly. It could have been where Devin had to hold on badly and Rigas just started catching him, bro. And it was just badly. And I felt like even if he win, it was going to give boxing pundits and mainstream media and YouTubers an excuse to say, see, Devin can't make it with the 140 pounder. See, look, he wobbling all over the ring. He ain't going to be able to take no punches and this and that. I thought him getting hurt was going to be the story of the fight. That's what I thought. And also, I'm going to go back and remind you one more time. In the 9th round, at the very beginning, Rigas landed a straight left that landed right on his chin, a hard straight left. Devin kept going. In the 12th round, he landed a hard-ass left hand on Devin. Devin just looked back at him and just, like, what? And these are late in the fight. The 9th round, the straight left, bow, right on the chin. The 12th round, it was an overhand left that landed on the side of his head, kind of on the temple a little bit. He just looked at Rigas. And this is late in the fight when you're the most vulnerable. By the way, after the fight, Devin was barely even sweating. Devin looked like he looked like he was getting ready to fight at the end of the fight. It looked like he had probably did a couple, hit the pads a little bit. It didn't look like he'd been in a fight, bro, 12 rounds. He was in tip-top condition. Listen, what I'm saying is, back to the power. I was hoping on some shit. I'm just gonna be honest, bro, because I really do feel like him making 135 was a strain on his body. I think that had a lot to do with the lack of knockdowns and just the power and strength. I thought it had a lot to do. Devin did not look strong in the Loma fight. Even though I thought he won, he did not look strong. He did not look strong. He didn't look strong at all in that fight. Even though I thought he won, thought he clearly won, Devin didn't look strong. Them body shots was good, but he didn't look strong. He didn't look strong. Didn't look strong. So, in like I said, in the back of my mind, I'm like, he gotta be punching harder than that. It gotta be enough to get Regis respect. But truthfully, bro, nobody knew. We just was spectating some shit. We didn't know. For all we knew, Regis was gonna feel Devin power and be like, and laugh at him and walk through his shit. Because this your first fight at 140. And another thing, bro, dudes ain't dropping Regis. Dudes is not wobbling Regis like we've never seen that happen before. Josh Taylor is really a welterweight trying to make 140. And he hit Regis with his best shit. He never wobbled Regis. Zepeda, none of these, we've never seen him wobble like that, bro. Multiple times. Nobody expected that. You may wanted that. That's the truth, bro. We just wanted that shit to happen. No, I wanted Devin to have respectable power. I wanted him to stand his ground. But I didn't know that shit for sure because for all we know, Devin could have went into that fight trying to stand his ground. But after that little straight right, Regis felt that shit and just decided, man, I'm finna walk through that shit. And whatever you throwing, I'm coming for you. And Devin could have had a moment where he just couldn't keep Regis off him. We didn't know that, bro. It was a lot of questions that was answered. We didn't know if Devin could keep Regis out. We really didn't know that. And that goes for Devin Haney fan. We didn't know it. We hoped. We hoped things didn't go wrong. Nah, we hoped. I'm telling you, bro, we was wishing on a star. We was hoping. And so I was hoping that the power did translate. A part of me believed it would, but it's just to see it, bro. You got to see it to really believe. To really believe, you got to see that shit. So, seeing it is a whole nother thing, bro. So, I'm saying that to say, okay, so the power was very shocking. Standing his ground, it was shocking that he was able to do that shit for 12 rounds and stand right in front of Regis. He fought the whole fight damn near mid-range. I mean, he was close. He wasn't completely on the outside. He was mid-range a lot. Another thing I want to point out, because the story seems to be Regis' feet was the reason he lost, the flat-footedness. Nah, pimping. And that's the reason why he couldn't cut the ring off? No, bro. I did say in my prediction, like I said, I was hoping. I said once he felt Devin power, bro, he was going to change his tune and he wouldn't be as aggressive. When you look at this fight, bro, Regis was trying to be defensive. He was coming forward, but he was cautious and he didn't want to get hit. He was trying to block. Every time he swung, Devin hit him with 2 shots. Damn near every time he came in with their left hand, he got countered. And he was tired of getting countered, so he was trying to be defensive. He was trying to protect himself more so than go for Devin's head. It wasn't so much as the flat footing. He could have walked. He if he chose to, he could have got on the inside. And at times he got on the inside. Devin would duck the hook and catch him and pivot out. So a lot of them shots Devin was making Regis miss. It was shots on the inside. And it was time he would catch Regis on the inside, pivot out, and just regroup. And just take it back to the middle of the ring. It's a lot of shit that was slept on, especially on the inside. It's times Regis was on the inside. He couldn't land on the inside. He couldn't land, bro. Like I said, but the thing about Devin didn't keep it on the inside. It's times where the fight got on the inside, but Devin wouldn't keep it there. Regis will miss 2 shots. He'll counter, spin out, pivot out, and just regroup. He wouldn't stay on the inside, which was smart. But anyway, I done said that. But also, I just want to say that Tank is not afraid of Devin Haney. But I definitely think his team is. I truly believe that, bro. Coach Calvin came out and said, let's just try for 2024. Just told Bill Haney, just don't even mention Tank name. We don't even, just don't give it no light, basically. Don't even talk about Tank. I ain't never heard of trying to say no shit like that. I think Coach Calvin Ford is terrified of Devin Haney's skills. I really think that shit. And I really think he don't want Tank to lose to him. And even Kenny, bro, I thought, man, Kenny was so... I'll tell you, bro, there is no fighter that Tank's team can't stand more than Devin Haney. But you know what? This is what's crazy. This is how I know it's hate and jealousy. Not by Tank. I don't think Tank make way more money than Devin. He ain't got nothing to, no, he's not jealous. Tank is not jealous of Devin Haney. He just don't like him. No, they do not like each other. That is serious. That shit with Regis and Devin, that shit was, a lot of it was hype, bro. They did a hell of a job of selling that fight. But you see them hug so quick to hug after the fight, bro. They really respected each other before that fight. They sold that fight. They did a lot of capping. Both of them were capping. And especially Bill and Tola. Boy, y'all were capping. Like, y'all really hyped that shit up like it was some grudge shit, but it wasn't. Tank versus Devin is a grudge match. Tank and Devin ain't never really liked each other. It's always been a I'm better than you. We still argue about the sparring sessions and who won. Tank and Devin is a real rival. It's just that Tank's team will not show any attention to Devin and the Devin versus Tank fight. When you look at, listen, bro, if Tank was to fight Shakur next, I would love it. I think that's the shit. That's one of the best fights in boxing. But Tank versus Devin is much bigger. Tank versus Devin, it ain't no fight in boxing you can tell me that's bigger. Give a fuck what you say. And you can try that Tank versus Tio is bigger. Bro, we can try that no, bro. Teofimo Lopez is selling 3,000 tickets in his fights. He has never even had 10,000 people in the arena, bro. Let alone 16,000. Teofimo Lopez is very talented, but he's not bigger than Devin. And I just wish we quit debunking. Teofimo versus Tank is a huge fight, though. Don't get it twisted. It would be a huge fight. I definitely agree. But T.O. is not bigger than Devin. And we all know T.O. ain't never fought on pay-per-view either. Just like Ryan had never fought on pay-per-view before you fought him, but you gave him a chance. I'm just going to say, bro, you should have fought Devin way before. Ryan shouldn't have got a shot before Devin. This has always been a fight. And listen, I just want to talk to YouTubers. Listen, matter of fact, I listened to Knockout Boxing earlier. Shout out to him. Knockout Boxing has a brilliant boxing mind. He believes in his fighter. Let me tell you something. I disagree with 70% of the shit that Knockout Boxing can say, but I can still respect the fact that you believe what you believe, bro. You stand on that shit. He's a real Tank supporter. That shit ain't cap. No. I can listen to you and not agree with damn near most of the shit you say. You know, yeah, especially about Devin coming down to a catch weight. Devin can't make 135 number. It's 140 and above at this point for Devin. But I get it. You won't Tank to have all the advantages you can get, but I get it, bro. But I like the fact that Knockout, he acknowledges the fact that, bro, Devin just put 16,000. This fight is way more intriguing now. Devin's win over Regis, bro, it makes the Tank fight even more intriguing. But yeah, shout out to Knockout Boxing. Subscribe to the brother's channel. Great channel. We ain't gotta always agree just for me to listen to you, bro. I think that's broad shit. I don't listen to him because he like Tank. That's some broad shit, bro. That's some broad shit. So anyway, I just want to talk to fans and content creators, bro. We just don't know the power we have. Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford, the even thought of that fight, it wasn't built by the networks. YouTubers and fans built that fight. The networks was never talking about that fight until they heard us talk about it. We just don't know our power. We just too busy arguing over bananas. Listen, black fans, we just don't understand. Tank versus Devin, bro, we can add on to that fight. But it's like, at this point, and even though Tank, I think he moves suspect, bro, but I don't think he's scared of Devin. I think he don't want Devin to take his spot. I think that, but I don't think he's scared of Devin, bro. He ain't scared of Devin. He not scared. Now that shit when he said when he was fighting Ryan, he said, you know, I'm gonna keep my family at the house for this fight. This is a very dangerous fight. Let me tell you something. That shit you said about Ryan, it's 10 times there when you fight Devin. You know, this is the toughest fight of my career. Even though I got Shakur beating Tank, it could be one of them fights where they'll try to say Shakur was boring and he didn't engage and just Tank couldn't hit him. But Tank versus Devin is like a thriller. It's a thriller because it's just a thriller because Tank gonna want his head. Tank really want Devin Haney head, bro. He just ain't saying. He really want Devin head, bro. Out of any fighter in boxing, Devin is the fighter Tank really want to beat the most, in my opinion. He never really shows Shakur any attention. But when he talk about him and Devin been going back and forth for 5 years, they always doing this little internet shit. If you notice, every time Devin say something, Tank say something. When Tank say something, Devin say. This been a back and forth for 5 years, and fans and content creators, we act like that shit don't exist. We trying to throw Tank off on everybody else. Yeah, let him fight T.O. Let him rematch Ryan at 140. And Tank versus Devin is the fight. I'm all for Tank versus Shakur. That's a dope-ass fight. And I would even love the Tank versus Frank Morton fight. But the biggest fight in boxing to me, the most intriguing fight, it is Devin Haney versus Tank. It is Devin Haney versus Tank. At this point, I think we need to set our bullshit to the side and stop saying that, you know, you can't say, well, Devin don't sell no more, or Tank just scared him. Let's just try to make this fight happen. Let's make this fight happen. I think we have way more power than what we think. Fans could put pressure. You motherfuckers did it with David Benavidez and Canelo. And this is what I'm saying. I told you, bro, I'm going to keep saying it. Anytime everybody in boxing agree on some shit of all races, everybody believe Canelo versus David Benavidez must happen, I know it's some bullshit, and I don't give a fuck about that fight. I'm going to continuously say that, bro, I don't give a fuck about that fight. And a black fighter would have never got another chance after snorting powder. Yeah. And that win over Andrade, I keep it. People are saying David Benavidez is the fighter of the year. Bro, you beat a broken down Caleb Plant who was coming off a knockout loss, and he knocked out Anthony Durrell, and people thought he was back. And then you beat an old, very small Demetrius Andrade, and you get full credit for that shit. But anyway, because people are talking about Reese was 34. I don't hear nobody saying, well, Andrade was 35. He was much smaller. Talk that shit. Regis was bigger than Devin. He was moving up in that fight and all that shit. You keep talking about, hey, Devin fighting Regis was way more of a risk than David Benavidez fighting Andrade. He walked completely through him. Anyway, so I don't give a fuck about that fight. And I got Canelo by stoppage. Even though Canelo ain't shit, and I think he's still on that dope, he gonna counter him, bro. Just plain and simple. That shit ain't even no prediction to me. He gonna counter him, bro. You got no defense. Canelo gonna clip him. Don't give a fuck about that fight. So, like I said, if we could all agree on that shit, let me tell you something. Canelo versus David Benavidez ain't near the fight that Tank versus Devin is. You talk that shit. This skill versus skill. Benavidez is not very skilled. He's talented. Not very skilled. Canelo is skilled, but not very skilled. Devin versus Tank is the best. Let me tell you something. David Benavidez versus Canelo is not for who's the best fighter in the world. Because no matter who wins, Terrence Crawford's still better than both of them. Boots is still better than both of them, bro. Shakur, they still better than both of them, bro. Tank versus Dev, that fighter to me is the number one pound for pound fighter in boxing. If Dev can beat Tank, you the best. Let me tell you something, bro. We talk that shit. If Tank beat Devin, bro, he's immediately a Hall of Famer. If Tank knock out Devin, bro, because that's how he would have to win to me. You don't beat Devin on points. He'd be an instant Hall of Famer. One fight could make you more money than any fight you've ever had, and it could make you an instant Hall of Famer. You beat Devin Haney, a undisputed champion, two division world champion, young in his prime. You beat him, bro. You a Hall of Famer off the rip. And you enter the number one pound for pound list to me. Because, listen, I love Bud. And don't get it twisted. Bud still, without saying it, is just the most spectacular. Bud, the top 10 of all time to me. I think he up there with the Floyds and Sugar Ray Leonard. So I just kind of leave Bud. Bud just on a whole nother level from everybody to me. Bud is just different. But I'm just talking about the new up and coming. The Tank Devin versus winner would be the passing of the torch. Like, Bud finna retire. That fight, it would be for number one pound for pound, bro. Don't get it twisted. If Tank beat Shakur, he number one pound for pound. If Shakur was to beat Tank, number one pound for pound. Whoever come out of these three, it's the number one pound for pound. And I know it seemed like I don't give T.O. enough credit, but I'm just saying I don't trust him. He moved funny, and he didn't give Devin a shot when Devin was the WBC interim. You went and fought Cambosis instead of making $4 to $5 million fighting Devin. You went and made $1 million fighting Cambosis when you could have made $4 or $5 million fighting Devin. And now all of a sudden you thirsty because you haven't had a big fight, so you trying to get in the way of this Devin Tank shit. Listen, T.O., go on and fight Matias. And I give you a whole lot of credit for that shit. But I can see, I'm telling you, bro, I'm going to do a video. T.O. can win that fight. But he can lose because he's not that good of a boxer. But when T.O. fight behind his jab, he's a much better fighter. And he got the power, I believe, to keep Matias off him. And I think he got the power to hurt Matias. But it don't mean you're going to win. But if you really take that fight, I'm going to talk a lot less shit about T.O. If he take that fight, I'm going to talk a lot less shit. But that's a winnable fight. I analyzed that fight. T.O. can win. T.O. can win because he loves come forward fighters. T.O. is the best against a come forward fighter. His worst shit is fighting a boxer, bro. T.O. cannot close the gap on boxers. He can't. He won't beat Tank. He won't be a Devin, and he won't beat Shakur. They will completely outbox him. Tank will stop him, though. But even though Matias is a monster, that style, T.O. love a come forward fighter. So he can win that fight. He can win that Matias fight. That is a very winnable fight. But he's not that good of a boxer. It would have to be his power to get him through that fight. I don't think his skills as a boxer could last against 12. If he just try to strictly box, it won't last 12 rounds with Matias. But if he uses power and work little angles and uses athleticism and explosiveness, he can clip him. He can clip Matias, in my opinion. And in my opinion, T.O. can clip anybody. He got the power. He can clip your ass. If you not defensively responsible, he'll clip you with that Yulchik shit he throw. He'll clip your ass. So it's no hate towards T.O. I just think Devin is much more deserving. The Devin versus Tank fight, bro, this been 5 years, at least 5 years, bro. This fight, we know that this is the fight. We know that this is the fight. So I'm tired of us acting like we don't know that shit. Either they don't know or don't show, or just don't give a damn what go on in South Central LA. Yeah, either you motherfuckers don't know or just don't motherfucking show. I just think fans, bro, stop. Instead of saying Tank scared, let's get this fight going. I would love to see the Rise podcast, Knockout Boxing them, and Drew Titan and who else? BFTB Boxing, 78 them. I would love to see all y'all on the same goddamn and talking this shit out. Talking this shit, bro. The fans and YouTubers, bro, we don't realize the power we have, bro. We could make this fight the shit because it deserves the attention. This deserves to be the biggest fight in boxing. These are two prime young fighters. I love Earl Spencer, Terrence Crawford, but these are fighters. These young prime is different. It's different. It's different, but don't get it real. I never diminish Spence versus Crawford. That's some Leonard Hearn shit. But this also, bro, this some shit. This is some shit, bro. It's a hell of a fight, in my opinion, because both of them are vulnerable to each other. I think shit that Devin does, it's bad for Tank, but it's shit that Tank do. Tank got a gear that's scary. Tank got a gear that makes me wonder at times. Even though I got Devin winning, I wonder. Because when Tank decides to walk through you. But that's the most telling of the whole fight to me. When Tank decides to walk through your shit, because he got a granite chin. He's the most dangerous. When he started walking through Barrios, it was over. I seen it. I said, he finna clip him. And when he started walking through Santa Cruz, I said, he finna clip him. Tank got that turn-up gear that's very hard to stop. But in my opinion, I think Devin Haney... Listen, Tank got a granite chin. There's no way I see Devin stopping Tank. I think Devin can hurt Tank, though. You coming up to 140. Devin got solid. That shit fast. It's snapping. He could hurt Tank. You think when he get to doing that walk through shoot, that'll be the telltale of the fight. Can you walk? Because he got a granite chin, but I think Devin could. He's such a sharp counterpuncher. And it could drop him. He could catch him off balance and drop him. I think he could hurt Tank. I really, really think that. He's a much better puncher than Barrios. And he got snapping power. Nobody walks through Devin. And that's why I got Devin winning in the Tank fight. But it's still a fight to be seen. I just think Devin will outbox him. I think the length and the reach. He's never fought nobody who know how to use it as good. But all Tank need is one shot against anybody. All you need is one punch. And boy, yeah, you dodged that shit with Regis. And you still got hit big in the 9th and the 12th round. You got hit with the straight left in the 9th. And then in the 12th, Regis hit you with a good shot. You can't get hit with them shots by Tank. That's one thing I'm can't. Chin or no chin. Your ass can't get clipped with none of that shit. So, yeah, it would be dope if content creators and fans could come together on this fight, bro. And let's not make it messy like we did against Vincent Crawford. Bud ducking Spence. Spence ducking Bud. Y'all was just playing hot potato and shit. But anyway, if we could really just as fans and as men, bro, and women, because it's definitely women in boxing. If we could just, bro, bring this fight together, bro, I just think this the fight. Juneteenth. Yeah, some shit like that. But no. I would say this. I would like to see Tank come back and get him a good tune-up January, February, and come back June or July. Juneteenth will be dope. But Juneteenth, that shit ain't no black holiday no more. White folks done took that shit. No. Juneteenth, now that shit let me tell you something. Anytime everybody celebrate a holiday, I know that shit ain't for us. Juneteenth, bro, everybody's selling us some shit on that day. Yeah, everybody celebrate it as long as black folks spending money. But anyway, so I don't give a fuck about that Juneteenth shit. But anyway, so y'all can have it on whatever day, because it really ain't no black day in America. So, yeah, Tank, I just don't want to see you fight Cruz again, bro. I don't want that to be your tune-up. I don't. And I'm going to tell you some real shit. Just to get yourself acclimated to the weight, to 140, I wouldn't mind you taking a good tune-up at 140. I'm trying to think of what would be a good fight for you at 140, just to get you ready and then fight Devin in the summer somewhere. I'm trying to think of just a good, solid little fighter just to get you ready. Not nothing too easy, but some to where you get acclimated to the weight. I do think you need a tune-up before the Devin fight. Maybe a Sandor Martin. Maybe a Jack Catterall. Maybe one of them two fights. Just to knock one of them out, get you ready. Jack Catterall actually better than Sandor Martin, though. Yeah, I'll give you Sandor Martin. And knock him out just to get you ready for the weight and then fight Devin. That's what I think. And I think when Tank enters 140, bro, Tank can... It's so many fights for him, but the Devin fight is the biggest, but it's some fights, bro. If Tank was to move to 140, bro, boxing would just... Tank don't realize the power he got. He just do, but with other fighters attached to your name, it makes boxing bigger. We keep trying to block our fighters and hide our fighters, bro, but it really makes boxing bigger. Imagine if Tank was to tweet some, because he love to tweet and say, 140, I'm coming. And if it's the next fight, fuck that Cruz shit. And this next fight, bro, just get your fight in Atlanta or Baltimore against a Sandor Martin or Catterall. It wouldn't matter who you fight, as long as you in Baltimore or Atlanta or some shit, and you sell out, make you plenty of money, a good tune-up fight at 140, and then go for Devin. That shit, I'm telling you, bro, the attraction that shit gonna bring. And I think matter of fact, I think Devin versus Tank should be in Atlanta. Yeah. Or New Orleans at the Superdome. Yeah, just some black. No. I think that fight should be in Atlanta. Yeah, at the Falcon Stadium or some shit. That shit should be like a stadium fight. But yeah, fans just too bitter. A lot of you motherfuckers mad that Devin beat Regal. A lot of you, I'm telling you, bro, there's so many people that's lying. At least I admitted my lies. I didn't know Devin Power was gonna carry, but it did. But it's a lot of you motherfuckers really thought he was gonna get knocked out, and you won't come out and admit it, man. I thought Devin was gonna get stopped. I thought Regal was gonna walk through Devin. I didn't think he had power. You won't admit it, you know. Now you just want to say Bill capping. Yeah, Bill capping. They already talking about fighting Keith, and he going to 147. How he gonna fight Tank and he at 147? You motherfuckers, bro. Stop just trying to find a reason for the fight not to happen. Let's talk about making the motherfucking fight happen. This is 903 Boxing. I'm your host, George. With that, I'm out.